Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a lovely chicken Caesar salad. Caesar dressing generally is made with some kind of fish sauce, and so by nature it's not vegan, but I'm going to show you how to make a vegan Caesar dressing, and we're going to make the chicken Caesar salad using this tofurkey plant-based chicken here. Now I've already got it out of the pack and broken it up. It is a seitan or vital wheat gluten tofu mixture. So it already tastes like chicken, but I'm using this Better Than Bouillon no chicken base, and this is vegan as well. You can find this at your local co-op or health food store. I haven't found it at a supermarket like Safeway yet. But anyway, I just diluted a teaspoon into a cup of water, and I'm using that with a little black pepper to marinate the chicken. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to cook this chicken, and I'm going to strain the chicken, and I'm going to keep this chicken broth here because you can use it for other things. It's going to be very chickeny. Okay, so I'm just going to let that drain off, and I've got a cast iron skillet heating up over here, and you can hear already ready to go. I'm going to do a couple drops of oil there, and we're going to go straight in with the chicken. Okay, I'm going to work this chicken around, and that broth that we marinated in is really just going to up the chicken flavor of this vital wheat gluten or seitan chicken replacement. This stuff I did find at Safeway, so my local supermarket. I think it's about $5 for a package, but it is very good, and it is one of the closest things to real chicken that I've had before. Okay, so we're gonna let that cook. I've got the cast iron here on about between medium and medium low. Really, you just need to bring that up to heat and maybe get a little crispiness to it. So in the meantime, I'm gonna make the dressing. You're gonna need a high-powered blender, and first thing you're gonna do is a cup of cashews. These are raw cashews, and as a vegan I keep a lot of cashews because you can make cheese sauces out of them, you can make dressings, you can make all kinds of great stuff out of cashews. You can use them in dessert recipes as well. Most of the time you would have to soak these. This recipe does not require that. If you don't have a high-powered blender, you are going to have a hard time getting a smooth dressing. And I'm just going to stick this back in here real quick. Okay. So the other thing we're going to add are a couple of cloves of garlic. And if you don't like garlic, you can leave this out. But I really love garlic, so I'm never going to leave garlic out of my recipes. There's a couple other ingredients in this dressing that are pretty interesting, and I'll talk about those. I'm just going to chop that little end off the garlic. You don't have to slice it up or anything. Like I said, high-powered blender, just throw it straight in. We're going to do a little teaspoon of salt here. I'm going to eyeball it. Alright, I'm going to go with the juice of a lemon, and I am going to cheat a little bit here. No, let's not use that. Let's use this other little guy here. And I'm just going to squeeze this lemon juice through this sieve here so I don't get any of the seeds in there. I love the smell of fresh lemon when you start squeezing it and you get that fresh lemon juice. The apartment I used to live in Midtown in Sacramento, we had a lemon tree right outside our apartment that I could go out there and get lemons from. And they were so fresh, they smelled so delicious. All right, this is about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. If you have a small lemon, maybe go for 1.5 lemons, but you really just want to squeeze the juice out of it. All right, and that timer is for laundry, so we'll deal with that later. All right. So this is vegan Worcestershire sauce. And again, I find this at my local health food store. I'm gonna do about a tablespoon there. It's really good stuff. This brand is the Wizards, and it's the only vegan Worcestershire that I've found before. But it helps a lot along with these capers here. We're gonna do a tablespoon of capers. It helps a lot in replacing that fish flavor. So I'm gonna go about, just get in there with my hands, about a tablespoon of capers. And even do a little caper juice. And then the other ingredient is Dijon mustard. And we're gonna do a tablespoon of it as well. Okay, perfect. All right, the last thing that we need is about 3/4 cup of water. All right. And this recipe is really nice. I've had it numerous times. It's so quick to make. I mean, this dressing can come together in less than 5 minutes here. Straight in. All right. Put the lid on and start it on low. And then just work your way up. We're gonna check on our chicken here. Getting some nice browning on the bottom. Okay, you can let that go as long as you need to get it nice and creamy. And mine looks really creamy. I'm gonna check and make sure you can see this wherever I hold it. I think I need to hold it a little closer here. Get it in the light. So it's nice and creamy and smooth. Okay, so what you'll wanna do with this is you'll want to chill it for about at least 20 minutes or so before you put it on your salad, because from the blending, it gets a little bit warm, and you don't really want warm dressing on your cold salad. And I'm going to pour this into a container here, and I'll finish that off in a few minutes. I've got actually a one that's already pre-made that I had from last week that I'm going to use, and in the meantime I'm also going to grab out our lettuce. These are going to be romaine hearts, and our BioLife Parmesan cheese, which is going to go on there as well. So we've got our cheese, got our lettuce there, and I'm just going to put up a few of these ingredients real quick. And I've got some homemade croutons. You don't need to home make your croutons. You can just use store-bought or whatever you've got laying around, but I just took some French bread and made some of these croutons with a little olive oil, salt, pepper, and oregano. So we're gonna put those on there as well. Let's check on our chicken here. Yeah, that's what we wanna see. Just nice color on it. Like I said, you really just have to heat it through, but I like to get a little bit of browning and a little bit of crispiness for that variance in texture. Okay. Get a little bowl out here for our compost. Lemon juice, lemons and garlic skins. Put that over there. Put this stuff over here. Okay, so here's our dressing, and we're gonna go ahead and get our romaine hearts ready. I get these organic romaine hearts at Safeway, and they're really easy to just get out and chop really quick. So you're just gonna chop the end off of it. And then you can run them through a salad spinner now. I just go ahead and chop them up. So maybe rip off a few of the bad spots on the end. And about 1.5 to 2 romaine hearts is enough for 2 salads, 2 good sized salads. So we're just gonna go strips here. All right, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can see that nice difference in texture. We've got the soft greens here, the crunchy greens here. We'll mix those all together. Let me get my salad spinner here. Into the salad spinner. Okay. And just give them a good rinse. You always want to wash lettuce. There's been so many weird E. coli scares with lettuce, and some of it getting sort of called back, and just a lot of issues with lettuce in particular. So definitely make sure you wash your lettuce pretty good before you eat it. A salad spinner is a great thing to have for washing greens, because it's just the quickest way to get them rinsed and then dried and then ready to eat. So just shake the water off into the salad spinner bowl here. This one I got, this Cuisinart one, it was really cheap. I think it might have been even less than $30. And we're just gonna spin this up. Let's check on the chicken again. That chicken is pretty much good. I'm gonna turn it off. You can leave it in the pan and keep it hot, or transfer it to a bowl. I'm also gonna put, actually no, I'm not, normally if I hadn't marinated it, I would put some salt on it, but that marinade that I use has a lot of sodium in it, so I'm gonna skip out on that. Okay, so check out our lettuce here, and still a little bit damp, but that's all right. I'm not gonna spin it again. You can spin it another time if you want. Okay, so let's get a tossing bowl out. All right, so we're gonna go lettuce in, just like that. Put this over here, and just give it a quick mix. Okay, so I am going to get that cheese here. We don't need any more of these romaine hearts. I'm gonna get this cheese. There's a couple things that I like to do for this cheese here. Like I said, this is Violife's Parmesan. It's really good. I used it in my my pasta recipe. So if you haven't seen that yet, click up here in the top right. And my zester, the grater, is buried. Get it out, there we go. Just get the water off of it. So I like to do a couple things here. I like to grate some cheese in here. Some finely grated shredded cheese. But I also like to get little shreds, little shards. So I use a quick peeler, like you would do for a potato or a carrot. And I just kind of shred down the side of the cheese and get some big chunks, some little chunks. Like I said, variance in texture. When you're eating anything, you don't want it to be all the same texture, all one note, all one flavor. You want a variance. So try to add that variance into your cooking anytime that you get the opportunity. And this is one of those opportunities. So a couple shards of cheese there, some of them big, some of them small. And I'm gonna do a bit more grated cheese. And you can even do, if you press down real hard, you'll get big long pieces. If you press down lightly, you'll get just kind of powder. So it's all about that texture. But anyway, as much cheese as you want. We like a pretty good bit of cheese on ours. All right. So now we're gonna do some dressing. And like I said, this is from last week, so this stuff will store for 5 to 7 days roughly. I like to put it in a squirt bottle like this because it's just easy to deal with. Good bit of dressing I like on my salads. And then we're just gonna give it a toss. And instead of getting my hands dirty, I'm just gonna use a couple forks here. But you could use your hands for sure. Just give it a good mix. And don't be afraid to put more dressing on it. Put more cheese in it, sprinkle a black pepper, sprinkle of salt, or add some other stuff to it. I mean, it is your salad. It doesn't have to be the, you know, stereotypical Caesar salad. You could put tomatoes in it or whatever you want to put in it. It might not be a Caesar salad after that, but it is Caesar dressing. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate this up, and we're going to add the chicken and the croutons to the top of it. Okay. Now I've got too much stuff going on here. Let's move this guy. All right. Put my cheese up. All right. So now I am going to go in with my hands. And I'm just going to get a big old chunk of salad here. Just going to put it right in the middle of the plate. All right, and I'll plate the other one up here in a bit. Okay. Now let's go over and get some chicken. All right, and you can see this stuff. I'll pick up a piece of it. Let's get a piece that's got some nice browning on it. You can see that brown texture, or that browning we got on it from the pan. These really do look like chicken shreds. It's kind of crazy. It's one of the closest things I've had in chicken. And just sprinkle it over the top. Like I said, you get some big chunks, some little chunks. It's all good. And I'm interested to see how this, how the broth marination helped the chicken flavor. Here's my croutons over here. Like I said, just some French bread that I had left over, and hit it with some olive oil and some salt, pepper, and oregano. And we're gonna do a good bit of croutons on here. Maybe not that many. Okay, looks good. Let's come back over here. All right, a little extra pepper on top, just lightly dusted. And finish it off with a bit of parmesan on top. Really recommend this BioLife vegan parm if you can find it. It's really good stuff. I love it on pasta dishes and in salads like this. It's just really, really great stuff. You can put it on popcorn. And if you want to, you could put some more dressing on there, but I think this is pretty good. So this is the final product from start to finish. Like I said, with the dressing, I already had some cold, but all you really need to do is leave your dressing in the fridge or stick it in the freezer for a little bit, and it'll be ready to go in 15 or 20 minutes. So let's get a piece of chicken and get some good greens here. And a little crouton. And when you make your own croutons, you can really decide whether you want big or small. But bottoms up. Wow. You can hear the crunch of the lettuce with the croutons and the crispy chicken. The cheese is so salty, that BioLife cheese. The seasoning from the marinade on the chicken definitely made it taste more chickeny. I would recommend to do that if you can. If not, like I said, it's optional. But the crispness of those greens, those fresh greens, this is one of my favorite ways to eat lettuce. Iceberg, or romaine lettuce. Not really a massive fan of lettuce outside of romaine or butter lettuce, but this right here is it. Wow, that is just so good. It's one of my favorite things. I used to love Caesar salads back before I turned vegan. Have a Caesar salad with a steak or something, but obviously now I would never eat a steak. But I love having that Caesar salad, and to have that that fake chicken in there really takes it up a notch. So like I said, I really encourage you to try this recipe. I know there's a lot of different products that I'm using that you might not be familiar with or might not even be able to find. Just do your best and find what you can. You know, not everything is required. Just make your version of a Caesar salad, and and I'll be happy. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out in my kitchen with me. I hope that this recipe serves you well, and if you make it, definitely hit me up on Twitter or down in the comments on YouTube and let me know how it went. I'd love to see pictures or just hear feedback from anybody. So yeah, so subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy my content. I'm trying to put out daily vegan content with great recipes like this that you can whip up in 10 minutes, 15 minutes really. So yeah, so all right, well, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.